Hello guys, it's been a relatively long time since I last uploaded, but I've worked on something else. So this, because it's getting colder now, I've kind of stopped working on it. Don't worry, I'll hopefully work on it next year. Yeah. Also, it produces a lot of smoke, which is not the best thing for my neighbors. But this thing, that you can put a pan on it or something. You want to get really hot. The flames, if you don't have anything on it, can just go straight up. But if you have something on it, you don't want to get the flames all over it, because last time I did it, there was a big black, the surface was covered with a thick layer of something like, I don't know, tar or something, which I could only remove with something very acidic or a metal sponge. I figured out after I washed the first dish. See, it's, yeah. And the thing I'm working on now is an oven, which uses this stuff, which is literally just wood that I put in a shredder. And it's inspired by a pellet oven, and I'm still working on it, but it's supposed to be then fueled by the screw. Which will be in this pipe. I've already tried it out a little bit, worked pretty okay. Now I just need a motor and make it so it doesn't get stuck. This was just like this long rod of bronze. First I tried it actually with iron, or I'm suspecting it is. It got actually red hot. I made it hot in there. Yeah, no. But this stuff, when it's hot, it actually didn't glow for me for some reason. And it becomes incredibly soft. It's just very nice. So I formed this very nice groove over a couple of hours. Over like 2 hours, 1 hour I think. I don't know. It's pretty perfect. Much better than I expected. Also has a sharp tip. Not really sharp, but pointy. This, like, I'm worried about chunks like these. Also, normally you'd expect it to have like an inner tube so it can hold. You don't want that. You want it for like water and pure fine things like that. For a pellet oven or whatever I make here, you don't want that. Then you want I forgot what they are called. A shaftless something shaftless. So things can't get stuck in here. I don't know. It just hopefully works. Now to this thing. it's just two paint buckets I previously used to create a lot of wood gas, but my parents for some reason didn't really like the whole neighborhood being intoxicated with carbon monoxide and such. Imagine. So this is how it works. This is actually also how a real pellet oven works. So here you have your, oh, that looks cool. This is just a like children thing out of metal that I took and used. And under here I have this, so ash and stuff can't fall directly into the fan. Under here is a fan. And that also is just so the fan that has something to rest on. I've created this ring because without it the thing could like fall through and will never rest like I want to. There it is. Yeah. And this ring fits pretty much perfectly. Like way better than I expected. Very nice. And the pellet part is so it can be automated. Because you can't really automate feeding a fire this. Yeah. So we have this, well, for actual fires they would use pellets because they're just better and they're also just compressed wood. Really hardly compressed wood. Hard compressed wood. I don't know. Here I have pellets, but I didn't have any money for pellets. Yeah, but also this thing was like full. I've used up all of this because all of this entire bucket were only like, I don't know, 1 or 2 of these. That's because this has much more energy density per. Yeah, this has much more energy density unlike this, because this also has a lot of air between it. It's like, I don't know, ice. When it's frozen, there's also a lot of air in it. So then it's like this. But when you let it get warm, the air can escape. And you will just be left with a little. It's the same ice, but it's just less area. Same like here. Here, there's pretty much no air in there. This, a lot of air. The only positive thing about this stuff is that it's, well, 2 positive things, is when you put it on a fire, it doesn't completely stop the fire, and it can automated. So in actual pellet ovens, you have a very, very long spiral like this, shaftless spiral, and you have like a small, like a bathroom-sized room with a hopper underneath it, and like a long hopper, not with a hole on the bottom, but like a shaft. And in the shaft is this, and then it will go like up to the oven. The oven has a fan for the wood, like a fire. It also has a tiny, like this, tiny area of actual fire. That's a plus for pellet ovens. Plus you can automate it. Nice. The thing is, for normal ovens or things like this, you only need to like refuel, I don't know, twice or 3 times per day if it's like deep winter. This, it will eat through, I'm just gonna call that pellets. It will eat through that like nothing. So in actual pellet ovens, it's like this fast. Pretty fast. And yeah, the positive things about these ovens is that they are very tiny and automated. The negative things about those is, yeah, I don't know actually. Well, you need an extra room for pellets, like filled to the brim almost with pellets. Yeah, anyway, I have this thing. I put the copper plate over here, so no ash and embers can fall directly into the fan and possibly damage it. And when there's no fire, you can see this part blazing hot. This part you can touch while there's a lot of fire, because the entire thing is an air chamber. And that can also work to heat up the air, like an actual pellet oven. And then I have this like chimney or something. And this is where the pellets will feed in. It's fire. And burns very, very hot. So hot, in fact, that I can, well, I have molten aluminium, but that's like easy. Also, it has become like very easy to deform now, like easily with my hand. If you go to the unburned aluminium, like this, even with just this tiny part, I can't bend that, but I can bend like this amount of surface of the aluminum that's already been hot before. So that was interesting. These tubes are how I start them, how I start the fire. I just take one, fill it with wood before, put it like a little bit deep in the wood so it can actually start. Turn on the fan on the bottom, and for assistance blow up in here. So because the fire normally wants to go up, but up there's no wood, so it can't burn. Now I've also figured out something else. this was the previous system, and also a previous fan. And this is like my favorite fan. That is so quiet but incredibly strong. I'll use this for, I don't know, something with air. This was the previous one. This electronic piston, which was used like plus and minus. You can also, there's no circuit board in there. It will draw 4 amps or whatever amount of amps you give it, because you're only meant to power it for a small time. So this is plus and minus. Then you have these two wires, which will tell you whether the piston is fully out or fully in, or neither of them. And this was previously used in cars to close the door locks. I have 2 or possibly even 3 of those. And another thing is I have this water motor from someone I know in school actually. This motor, like, yeah, it's a DC motor that can run on AC, but if you hook it up wrong, it won't be an AC motor, it will become a DC motor. I don't know. Rocket science. Yeah, but I figured out that, like, with my normal 4 amp 32 volts power supply, it's also analog and pretty old. There, if you make a spark in that, it just goes like and creates like a small, I don't know, thing, but nothing else, nothing you can like weld with. But I figured out that when I have this hooked up to it, when I hook it up to the power supply, it doesn't like, it more like, even when I stop the motor. So then I knew it can't be the motor, but instead it had to do something with the coil. So I used this internally broken, like 10 or 20 amp lamp power supply, and it has a short circuit on the 220 volt side, which was actually good, because I don't want a transformer. Well, it would be good to have one, but in this case I didn't want a transformer, I just wanted a big coil. So I just hooked the power supply up to the 220 volt input, and then I had like a etc. Yeah, I thought that was like really weird, and it also becomes incredibly hot. Here are my previous attempts at creating a shaftless barrel. Yeah. Also, this drill is hooked up to a pedal. Very convenient. Also, my dad has this, like, it's like gas-powered welder. No, not welder, soldering iron. Yeah. And now, this. This is a... My dad got me this. He didn't buy it, he just, like, I don't know, from a friend or something. This is a 60 volt, actually 65 volt, 16 amp. That's the maximum. It only says here 60 volt DC 15 amp, but its maximum is 16 amp for some reason, and 65 volt instead of 50 volt. No, 60 volt. 50 volt is, by the way, the maximum voltage you are allowed to touch. Beyond that, like 110 volts or 220 volts, become dangerous. Yeah, and with my new power, you can actually weld fine, but yeah. And then, something I learned from Electroboom, I have this, where is it? God damn it. I have this graphite rod. It was actually previously like this long, from a pencil. And graphite, as you might know, actually conducts electricity fairly well and has a incredibly high melting point. Maybe even the highest melting point there is of an element. And but what I didn't know is if I get the same effect, but without the coil taking away a lot of that energy. It can literally melt through copper, which, as far as I know, has a higher melting point than metal. No, I mean iron. You can go like... I'll make a video. Like, probably. And you can also melt, like you can literally, you can't weld, but you can destroy stuff. Where is it? I had something here before. I can't find it anymore. Anyway, I could literally melt like screws this big in nothing. It actually became like a sparkler. The iron, for some reason. It's just cool. Here are my previous bending attempts, which didn't work. Also, I have a new you know what it's called. It can extend longer this way. And also my previous one had a problem where when it touched, it would also move up. This one doesn't have this problem. Hopefully. And yeah. That's pretty much all I've got for today. I also melted aluminum, and that it was like a grid this big. I put it on there. It instantly melted. Surprise, surprise. And these are the remains. More graphite. Nice. I love graphite. here's my water fire extinguisher. When something burns, but you don't want to get everything with, fill up everything with not the most human-friendly foam or even powder. Powder extinguishers are for only for cars. Everything that powder will touch, you can throw away. You will never get that powder off it. Only foam and, in my case, water. Because here I don't have like 100 kilovolt or get something more radical. So water is actually pretty good. And also it can be cleaned up very nice. Yeah, that's now actually all I've got. I also made metal very, very, very hot. Actually kind of melted here. Yeah. Bye. I forgot to mention that I am building this furnace to create warm water and hopefully, I don't know, make my hut warm without needing a heating fan.